everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Tuesday, 6 p.m. So you know what time it is. It is time for Me Powered with Rhonda. We are live, and I've got an amazing guest for you tonight. You're definitely going to want to listen to this, especially attention, all my kings out there, all my men. We got something special for you. And ladies, you're going to want to listen to get an idea into how a man thinks and what a man is going through. So this show tonight is going to be a great one. Now, if this is your first time joining us and you have no idea how to, listen to us or tell other people, we've got several different ways that you can tune in. So Lady J, tell them how they can tune in today.
If this is your first time tuning into the show or to JQLM Radio and you would like to share with your family, friends, and followers on all the different ways that they can tune in, be sure to tell them to download the JQLM Radio app on their Apple or Android devices. You can also listen live to JQLM Radio 24/7, 365 via Amazon Alexa, TuneIn app, the Stream and Simple Radio app, and a host of other platforms of which you can find located on our website, where you can also listen live at egoentertainmentnet.com. Also, don't forget to follow, like, and share us. We do follow back. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at JQLM Radio. You can also connect with Ego Entertainment Network at EgoEntNet. That's EgoEntNet on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter also. Also, connect with us on LinkedIn at Ego Entertainment Network. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our YouTube channel, Ego TV Network, at youtube.com/Ego TV Network.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Lady J, for letting everybody know how to tune in. Now, those of you that are following me, I've got a whole bunch of ways that you can follow me as well. So on Facebook, you can follow me at my personal page, which is Rhonda Thompson. But we also have a show page for Me Powered, which is just simply at Me Powered. We also have Instagram. Everybody knows me as Rhonda T and ATL, but we got a special Instagram page, me.powered as well. You can always follow me on LinkedIn as well and YouTube. And we're working on our website, which is coming soon, which is going to be mepowered.co. So keep your eyes out for that. We got lots of exciting stuff coming. All right, so now that we got all the particulars out of the way, I want to introduce to you guys somebody that is dear to my heart. Now, I wrote in my post, I love me some of him, okay? This guy right here is more than my friend. He is somebody that speaks into my life. He imparts into me. He is what I call the coach's coach. And you know that saying, iron sharpens iron? Well, he's one of those for me. So I would like to welcome Mr. David Solomon, aka Progress Junkie, to the show. Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Pretty good.
All right, so you got to do your little thing here for Progress Junkie, your little thing that you do.
Progress Junkies, the brand, get it in.
There you go. You're a household name with that. So welcome to the show. And I'm so glad that you were able to make it. Now tell everybody just a little bit about you as far as where you're from before we get into all the particulars about you, because we're going to be talking about a special topic tonight, because you have a heart for kings. You have a heart for men. Yeah. And so we're going to be speaking about mental health as it pertains to the men. This evening. So I'm excited to get started. So just tell everybody just a little bit about you, where you come from and all that stuff.
Okay, I was born in Cleveland, Ohio.
Everybody's from daggone Cleveland, I swear. Everybody I meet is from Cleveland. Okay.
No, I was born in Cleveland, Ohio. I left the country in 97, did the Marine Corps for 8 years, security forces in Iraq, Fallujah. Got 3 beautiful kids. Mm-hmm. Single dad. Mm-hmm. Went to college. Love coaching, love people, but I have a heart for giving people hope and bringing them back.
Okay.
And I've noticed men.
Yeah.
Men. So I just
That's awesome. And we'll just talk a little bit about you, because people need to know you do so many things. And first of all, you're a Marine. I was in the Marines for a short time too, not to the level you were, but first and foremost, of course, I mean, thank you for everything that you've done, because you've been on tour, you've been to war and stuff. and you were in a special forces group. So talk a little bit about that. You weren't the typical Marine.
And I was more so security forces. I went in um, not thinking that would happen, and then after 9/11 took place, they attached me to a forward deployed unit, and we got to the unit. There we got to the actual place in the Middle East, and from there, the colonel gave me a secondary MOS, and he put me over the security team for the third gate, meaning the interior guard, where everybody slept and rested. The SEALs, Spec Op guys, every place where they rested, I was solely responsible for protecting all the gates the entire time. So no one came in at night trying to hurt the troops or the soldiers or whatnot, the sailors. So I was directly responsible for that and interrogations, finding terrorists and all the good stuff. So
Okay. Yeah, and you like when you were here, I mean you even have like a special tattoo that you had for that is just for that, you know. So you were in that for a good bit. Now let's talk about that just for a second because before we get into your stuff, I've never served obviously in war, but being around all those men and being responsible for those lives, especially men too. What was that like?
um, it'll test your iron, right? You really know what you're working with as a
Mhm.
man, as an individual, as a person, the caliber of character you have. It tests all of that. It really does because it's literally a life and death situation, right? You
Oh yeah.
you lose your bearing, you lose your confidence, you lose your ability to be an emotional fixed point for other men to pull strength from, and everything can collapse. So you have to know how to separate what you feel in the moment and put what needs to be seen. You got to project that confidence, and you have to have it deep rooted in you, even when everything looks absolutely contrary. For those men to follow you, listen to you, and put their trust in you. You got people's families in your hand.
Yeah.
So so it's a real serious business. Marine Corps is a
Yeah.
very serious business. Yeah.
Yeah, and and I'm curious, and we'll talk more, but where your heart for men has come from, because you have
Mhm.
a whole king's line that you do, and
Yeah.
I love that about you, especially because I was joking with you ahead of time, when you were saying about you're doing a lot of relationship coaching lately,
Yeah.
and I said, yeah, all the women are attracted to you. You got all the women, but then you're like, no, the guys are the ones that are reaching out to me right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, you know, with being in the Marines, with, being the one to protect everybody while they sleep and everything like that, I'm sure you saw the men go through many, many things. You saw many people that you've lost and stuff like that. And that's a whole nother lifestyle. That's a whole nother world. So you see men on a level that the rest of the world doesn't see men,
Yeah.
and everything. So where did your love for wanting to impart into men come from?
Um, when I first started my brand Progress Junkies, it was geared towards single moms, right? I was
Hmm.
My mom was a single mom. I watched her struggle, and then what I noticed was over the years, when I started to look at it, what I realized was that it wasn't the women that needed the help,
Hmm.
right? In contrary, we were putting band-aids on a gender
Hmm.
that wasn't necessarily broken in the beginning, right? Something happened to make her like that.
Yeah.
And when I started to look at it, I'm like, wow, all these male coaches are running around trying to coach women into being better women. That's not the issue.
Mm-mm.
Coach men to be better men,
Yeah.
and then you'll have less problem with the women.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then I realized that was the issue. When my lens changed, my perspective changed, I started to see it for what it was. And
Hmm.
that's when it was like, yo, we missing the mark. It's
Yeah.
the kings. If you fix the kings, the family will get right. You fix the kings, the kids are better. You fix the king, the women ain't got to run around acting like men in regards of business and trying to be so they don't have to do that,
Yeah.
But so when that happened and seeing, I know a couple guys that committed suicide. I knew three guys who couldn't afford to pay child support. They all got
Mhm.
together, all committed suicide.
Right.
Um, I know guys have been locked up over relationship issues, and
Mhm.
society doesn't care.
Right.
Doesn't care about a broke man. It doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the things that you and I have in common is because like with my counseling, and that's one of the things that like I knew instantly you and I connected is because I
Yeah.
told you back then that, my largest group is my men. And on the first day, I always say to them, I will always speak to the king in you. I'll never disrespect you. I will never offend you. If I do, let me know. But, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care what you did to get here. I don't care what you're going home to. I don't care who you sleep with, who you worship. I don't care. What
Yeah.
your heart is my assignment. And just putting that out there and referring to them as kings, you saw them sit up taller. And
Yeah.
I never had to check my guys to not be disrespectful to, they were like, oh, okay. And it was so needed. And to see the men, and I found out after, studying and being with a lot of my clients and stuff, that men's number one need is not for what people think it is. It's not for sex. It's for appreciation. And a man
Yeah.
simply wants to be appreciated. And women tear men down all the time. And it's like
Um,
you're ripping your house apart. And not all women, but some women do. And but the men, to see them be so hopeless, I was surprised at that. So I'm so glad that you're doing what you're
yeah.
doing.
And I think that piggybacks off of, I do a little training when I talk to fellas and I ask them, um, what's the strongest thing in any building, right? Some will look at the walls, they'll say the pillars, they'll say the roof, they'll say the stone settings, but the strongest thing in every building is the foundation. But it's
Mm,
also the most overlooked piece.
yeah,
When the last time you went into a house and said, man, this foundation looks good? You don't do that.
right.
And as a man, that is where we are relegated to. We are the foundation. When the foundation shifts, everything starts to move.
Yeah.
But men who don't have an identity, who don't have a sense of self, we can get so isolated in the mindset of being a foundation that we start to accept neglect and abuse as just a part of the job.
Right.
So now you got a depressed foundation, and when the depressed foundation finally caves in, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. I can't believe, wait a minute.
Hmm.
Were you looking at the cracks in the wall?
Right.
No, you weren't.
Right.
You
Because
know,
there's always a foretelling of what's
it,
coming.
it's
If
precursors,
if
trimmer.
you pay attention, you can see it getting shaky. You can see a
Yeah,
man getting ready to lose it. You can see, things happening if you take the time to pay
yeah,
attention instead of, you know, I showed you that one video that I show them all the time. The number one, the most destructive thing a boy hears is be a man. And if you're always told to be a man, man up, man up, man up, you can't show emotion, you can't cry, you can't show weakness, then you now have to cover those cracks in your foundation where you are not able, it's not accepted by society readily to say, hey, I'm hurting. And you had a thing recently I loved when you said, when was it when lions bleed?
when
And
lions bleed.
man, that.
Listen, that is a very, like you said, it's a be a man.
Mhm.
But when you say that, we're only ascribing man to the strong side. They're
Yeah.
not ascribing the fact that a man can be emotional, a man can have feelings, a man can say, "I don't like being talked to like that." A man can say those things, but if he says it, he's coined as being weak. He's coined as being quote unquote not a boss, or he's not strong enough, or you have to deal with my mouth. If you want to talk to me, I talk back. Those type of female colloquialisms are indicators that you have a lot of men in verbally abusive relationships, depressed, living lives of covered despair. Dudes who look like supermodels are sitting home in their rooms looking at bottles of pills. They can't make this one woman who's never appreciative happy.
Yeah.
We're measuring our value on how happy we can make a woman who
Mhm.
doesn't even know who she is as a woman yet,
Right.
right? And so it ruins the whole dynamic. That's why I'm big on purpose before pursuit, right?
Yeah.
As a king, you need to know your own purpose before you start pursuing a woman.
Mhm.
That's it. And because that's when we talk the basement relationships, right?
Mhm.
Right. You start compromising and trying to. No, you're not ready to be king yet, son. You're
Mhm.
not. You maybe a 40-year-old man. living in your woman's house, you're playing Call of Duty all day long, you don't take care of yourself, you got more time on a video game than you got with your kids, your job ain't solid, your credit's lower than the devil's at, you're not ready to be king.
Right.
You're just not. And until you're able to sustain yourself consistently without a woman's help,
Mm-hmm.
you're not ready to be anything in any woman's life.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Right. We're not, we're not,
Mm-hmm.
we're always taught to fight for it. Like every time a relationship ends, it's the guy's fault. He's supposed to fight for it. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no. Sometimes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
they got to cuss her out. Just, baby, this ain't gonna work.
Right. Right. And and sometimes, it isn't always, the man's fault. Sometimes the woman's not ready to be in that relationship, and she's not ready to honor that man. And everybody has to be ready. But you said a key thing. A lot of times, a man will try to make another woman happy. Well, that's a problem right there, because I tell the women and I tell the men, you cannot make anybody happy. Period.
Yeah.
That happiness has to come from within. And all right, so let's say you and I are in a relationship, Dave. If I say to you, you have to make me happy, I'm giving you an unrealistic expectation. There's no way you can make me happy. You can make me smile. You can make me feel good. You can, all this stuff support me, but my happiness comes from me. And if I'm not happy, then with myself, and if I don't love myself and I value myself, then I can't love you properly. I can't be happy. So then I'm bringing you brokenness and expecting you to fix it. And two broke pieces don't make a whole.
No. Yeah. And I think that's another, like a lot of guys are trying it. They're trying to, the part that's crazy is instinctively, as men, we thrive off of being able to provide something. We live off of it. We like that. That's one of our genetic love languages, being able to provide and to be recognized for what we provide. Right. That's what we crave. And then when we don't get it, then guys start turning inward. But they don't realize, wait a minute, you're asking me to be something that's not real. I can't be your source of happiness. And a lot of guys do that. I've noticed men do it. Men who don't know their purpose, they'll make loving that woman their purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever she wants, she get. My woman get whatever she wants. Whatever. But basically what you're doing is you're spoiling a grown woman. And the minute you say no, you got a tipping transfer from a 40-plus-year-old woman. Right? You missed it.
Right.
You missed it. You got to be able to be like, look, I love you, baby girl, but no, we ain't doing that.
Right.
That ain't happening. That ain't reasonable. No, I'm not paying for that.
Right.
And men don't know how to say no. We don't.
Yeah.
We want to be loved. We want to be the best guy in the world. Yes, honey. Yes. When half of them yeses, we pay the price.
Yeah. Now let's talk about something quick before we go to the break. And we're not saying that all men are, we're never making a blanket statement, because there's good men, there's men that are immature and stuff. And there's some men that they mistreat women, or they, are abusive, and they demand respect, but they don't give respect. You can't do that. So what I want to come back to after the break is, you said a very key thing. You need to know your purpose before you can be a king, before you can pursue. So what would you say to men would be a key to finding their purpose? And how do you know when you're ready to be a king?
I got a quote from one of my books, and it says that the key to finding your purpose is often hidden in the conversations of those who know you best.
Okay.
The people that spend quality time around you, they know that part of you that's amazing. It becomes second nature to you, but they know it is extraordinary. And that part of you that's extraordinary by reflex is normally an indicator, or can be used as a compass towards where your purpose is lying at.
Okay. That's good right there. Okay, Dave. That's all right. That's a perfect spot for a break right there. Okay, so we're gonna take a break real quick and listen to some sponsors, and we're talking to David Solomon, and we will be right back.
Did you know JQLM Radio provides media services like voiceovers, radio advertising, video flyers, and other audio and video services? Contact JQLM Radio today for your brand promotional needs at 317-886-0296 or email jqlmradio@gmail.com. JQLM Radio, real voices, raw entertainment, and relevant topics.
Track What You Did by CXNST on soundcloud.com/official Lopez. Music promoted by freestockmusic.com.
Indianapolis, Indiana is hosting the first annual Re-Up Experience and Re-Up Awards. It's coming August 6, 2022 at the Spotlight Event Center, hosted by Florida's own hostess with the mostest, Caramel Lucas. The Re-Up Experience is an annual nationwide event that has 5 core focus areas: release, recoup, remind, remix, and repeat. It includes brunch, raffles, vendors, music, interactive panel discussion, networking mixer, bounce backology performance and presentation, re-up power circles, an award ceremony, red carpet, all-white after party, and more. Sponsorships are available, and vendor tables are available as well for only $40. Visit the website reupexperience.com. Again, that is reupexperience.com to download sponsorship details and to secure your sponsorship or vendor table. You can also contact reupexperience@gmail.com. And this year's theme, we all the way up.
Hey there. If you can hear my voice, this is Pamela, host of Hospitality, here to remind you that Eagle Entertainment Network has a lot for your business. Listen, honey, you need to get with it. Eagle Entertainment offers various services: media coverage, red carpet services, promo interviews on air. They offer meet and greet services, honey, not to mention other event services. You want to get in gear. Eagle Entertainment is empowered greatness optimized. We're now booking and spots are going fast. Eagle serves the United States and all event types, honey. So if you are opening a business, having a store opening, a restaurant opening, and you want some coverage, Eagle Entertainment is the way to go. Call or text 317-886-0296 or go to eagleentertainmentnet.com.
All right, we are back, and I need to take a moment to mention my premier sponsor, Rob DeLitis. He is the co-author of Kill the Craving, and he is the founder of ERP Therapy for Substance Abuse. Now, Rob's specialties include any kind of substance abuse treatment or training and guidance, and you can reach him at roberpman@comcast.net. He can train your company, he can do one-on-one, and he can serve people anywhere that you're at because he does have virtual classes available. So if you're dealing with any kind of substance abuse or addiction issues, give Rob DeLitis a call. All right, so we have been talking to Dave Solomon. Welcome back, Dave. And we're talking about a perspective of mental health, because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, but we're talking about a king's perspective. We're talking from the men's perspective, and you had mentioned before the break that, lions bleed at times, kings hurt, men hurt. And you have a heart for men because of the different things that you're seeing. Now, you mentioned that a lot of guys are coming to you with relationship issues recently. What would you say is something that people would not realize that men struggle with or hurt about?
Men hurt when they can't meet all the needs. That is one of the biggest things when a dude has a woman that no matter what finish line he reaches, she changes it.
Mm-hmm.
That drives some of the strongest men I've known in the depressions, because the way men are wired, if you're not a king in your mentality, because you got boy, man, king, you got those three phases of man, right? If
Okay.
you're just a man, you'll feel like you're failing yourself because you don't have the internal courage to take the lenses off and see her for what she's being.
Mm-hmm.
If you're king, you'll realize, wait a minute, I'd have met the markers. I know I've been consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're just pushing the envelope.
Right.
And there's a different level of confidence there. You got to be willing to lose something you love for that thing to respect the fact that you love it.
Okay.
And they need to understand that. I can't just walk all over this man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I appreciate, because I appreciate him. What he does is great, right? They need to realize that, okay, a man's love is just as important as yours. Yours is no more pricier than mine. It's not more important than mine. They don't need more attention than mine. My love, my strength, my arms, my money, my wisdom, my cunning, my voice, everything I bring to the table is just as important
Mm-hmm.
as yours. But men have been programmed, because every time you cut social media on, all you see is how replaceable we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Always, you even have men coaching women on replacing men.
Right.
And it's so saturated that
Mhm.
subconsciously men view themselves
Yeah.
as replaceable.
Yeah, and I can identify with that because, just being transparent, growing up, my mother was hurt by my father and different men that she was with, and she did not raise us. I'm just going to be honest. She didn't raise us to respect men. She raised us to always have one or two on the side.
Yeah.
Never let your right hand know what your left is doing, and that it was okay to have one pay for this, one pay for that, one do this, and that was perfectly fine. And I never got with that. I could never get with that, and that caused a little bit of problems between me and her. But I know now that that was part of my calling, because I see into men differently than a lot of women do, and you're right there, and we're talking about the good men here, okay? We're not, because not all men deserve that. All right,
No,
let's
they
just
don't.
put that out
No.
there. Not all men deserve to be treated as a king, because
They
they're
don't.
not leading as a king, and they're lording over people, but they're not being a king. You don't have to lord over somebody to be a king.
But
But when
the bad part with that one, though, Rhonda,
Mhm.
and here's what the ugly part is with it. If you have a woman who's never had a king,
Right.
she won't know if he's lording or loving,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if he's loving and not lording, she don't know what the difference between loving and lording. He ain't raised his voice. He ain't mean. Like, what part? Because sometimes, again, society has really messed up the love dynamic between our gender. It made it so complicated, right?
Right.
A man telling a woman, "Sweetheart, I love you." Can you not go hang out with that girl that's always smoking? Because every time you come back, you act out of character, baby. And that kind of hurt my heart to see you like that.
Mm-hmm.
If she's not a queen, she'll say, "You're trying to control me."
You're right. Well, when I refer to lording, let me clarify. When I refer to lording over somebody, that's, you got to listen to me. You have to respect me. Don't ever question me. Do what I tell you. Be home when I'm. No, that's
No, bro.
you don't own me in that sense.
No.
That's what I mean by lording over
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
And you're very right. A lot of women have never had a king, and they're used to being treated a certain kind of way. Myself, I mean, I was brought up, you know me
Yeah.
deeply, and some of my deep
Yeah.
stuff. And if you're used to being treated as a certain kind of way, you have a hard time recognizing
Yeah.
good person, and so you push them away because you feel you don't deserve it, because that's all you that you
Yeah. Or you keep sabotaging. You keep making a bad decision. Like, is he
Right.
lording? Is he? And
Right.
guys that normally try to lord, guys that try to lord are some of the most insecure men on the planet, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
They're trying to get love given to them by force.
Yeah, and that's never going to work
No,
on the male or the female. You
yeah,
can
that's a
never
temper tantrum.
force that. Yeah, you can never force that.
No.
And I'll say this, I believe, I don't know if it's what the statistics are, but I can only speak for myself. And the women that I deal with, I believe most women want to submit. They want to be able to submit to somebody to lead, but it has to be a true king. Like I would not have a problem following somebody if
Yeah.
they're leading properly and if I can truly trust them with my life, my heart, my children. That's different because I have no problem. Like, okay, baby, you say no, okay, it's no. And but that comes from trust on both sides. And you can be a king. Now let's talk about how can you tell if a woman is a queen?
You can tell. To me, it's four things I would look for. One,
Mm-hmm.
if she asks, how does she treat her family?
Mm-hmm.
Right? How does she treat her family? How does she view herself?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Um, is she driven? And is she full of wisdom?
Okay.
To me, right? And the reason I say that is because you got girl, woman, queen,
Mm-hmm.
boy, man, king,
Okay.
and the difference, the differences between those stages are massive, but we tend to overlook the differences because of our heart. And then when the heartstrings and the love stuff wear off, reality set in and be like, oh my Lord, I done fell in love with a boy.
Right.
Right? Oh my
I have
God, I
been
got
there,
this little
and I do
girl.
not want to raise a boy. And it's like I have
Exactly. And that's
been
what we
there,
gotta.
and that makes me angry because I've had to be the father, I've had to be the mother. I'm like, what do I need you for?
Yeah, and
That
that's
that
where it
is
falls
like,
down at.
ooh, that's a
It falls down.
frustration that you would not. I'm like, if you're just gonna be another one of my sons, like you said, you're laying here, you're not doing it, you're not contributing. I'm working harder. It's like the dynamics are
Yeah,
all messed up.
yeah.
I have a hard time respecting that, Dave. I'm just gonna be honest. But
Most women do. Most
yeah,
queens do have a problem. They should.
right.
They should have a total problem with it, right? But here's the danger with the double-edged sword with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a king to be that way, he loses the respect, right? But society tells women now, girl, get you a man that's gonna take care of you.
Right, right, yeah,
Now, I'm gonna say this now. As a king, I don't care what you say. As a man, do it is your responsibility to be the weight bearer in the house. I don't care what she make. Your job, brother, is to be the wall she can fall on.
mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you the foundation. I don't care where she is. You are at her weakest point. You
Mm-hmm.
carry her.
Yeah,
Your job is to carry that queen. Her heart, her issues, her insecurities, her children. Your job is to carry her through all of that. And then when she stands up in the world seer, they had no idea she missed a beat because she walked on her man's back.
yeah,
That's how that's supposed to be.
right,
And that's fine. When you're a king, your foundation, I ain't got to say nothing to you. I know if she in the front, she's shining, doing her thing, ain't no come. Because I know when the queen come home, she lays her head on my chest and talks to me.
right,
The things she need, she get that from me.
right,
And as a man, as a king, you're confident in that.
yeah,
When your woman get up there and does a speech and she quotes something you taught her,
mm-hmm.
you ain't got to say, oh, I told her. No. You fall back and yeah, that's my baby right there. Yeah, she's doing her thing.
Yeah, yeah,
But that comes with that king confidence. But when you got a queen with a boy,
yeah,
you're taking care of him. You got to prompt him. You got to get him to do stuff. You got to constantly talk to him.
yeah,
If you got a king and you
right,
got a little girl, she
yeah,
always want money. I
yeah,
need money. I need
yeah,
money. I need money. She doesn't have the aptitude to get it herself to grind the hustle. Or
right,
you get the woman that's a hustler who
mm-hmm.
goes hard in the paint. She sets these high expectations, and
Mm-hmm.
even if the king is where she is or greater,
Mm-hmm.
she'll move the bar because she realizes now he really doesn't have to tolerate your mess. He's
Mm-hmm.
self-made. So
Yeah,
now you really got to deal with your mouth and your attitude, honey. You can be by yourself and rich and look cute and grow old along with your bag and your hair and your nails. Or you can get your attitude in check and have a man next to you loving you until you get old.
Yeah.
And that's where the dynamic happens. When you get the king and a queen, they're both self-made.
Mhm.
I've noticed with the guys, they realize, I got a buddy, he's a computer science, make good money.
Mhm.
He dates women that's pretty affluent, powerful women. He
Mhm.
says, David, the biggest issue is they don't know what to do when I don't need them for man stuff.
Mm.
I don't need her to drop me off at work. I got 4 cars.
Right.
I don't
Right.
need to sleep on the couch. I own 3 apartment complexes. I don't need her money. I got
Mhm.
2.6. I don't need her for anything physical other than to learn her to love me and for me to love her back. That's what I want. And when you get a woman who's used to always being the queen because she keeps dating boys and men,
Mhm.
she meets her match in that king.
Yeah.
And then she'll either have to humble herself and get her character together
Mhm.
or go find a boy to be queen by yourself.
Right.
And that's when it get,
Yeah.
and it is difficult.
Yeah,
It's
and
difficult.
it is, and I love what you just said about holding her up, and so she doesn't miss a beat. Because I have said this. I mean, you know my story. I've been married twice.
Mhm.
I believe I'll be married again. I want to be married again. And but the thing is, and I don't mean this arrogantly. You know me. You know I'm a strong woman. I'm not arrogant. I'm not mouthy. I'm not materialistic. I'm not one of those. But I'm strong, and not in a sense of I don't need a man, because that's like the biggest lie. I want a man in my life. And if for women to say I don't need a man, I'm fine. Okay, then you got to let a man know you need him for stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing that I found myself saying to both of my ex-husbands is, I need you to be stronger than me. Okay, I think we just lost Dave, so Dave's going to have to call back in. So we'll give him a second to call back in. I don't know what you touched, Dave, but you dipped out on us here. But that's the thing that I find is that I need, it's hard to find somebody. I would love to find somebody that's stronger than me, not in a sense of that we're going to get into a tit for a tat, but that I can lay my burdens up, so that I can put my head on your chest, so that I can rest, and I can know that you're going to be okay with it, and that you're going to help me pick up the pieces. So I know that's something that I look for as well. While Dave is okay, he's coming back in
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
We
He
good.
just missed the whole thing that I just said. I just said something awesome. I just said, did you hear what I said?
I heard I tried to tell him and threw me in the room.
That's okay. I was saying, and I was trying to keep it going, being like, keep it flowing. And I was like, okay. But what I was saying is, with the 2 marriages, the one thing that I did not like is, and I didn't mean it arrogantly, is I need you to be stronger than me. I need to be able to put my head on your chest. I need for you to know that you've got me. And that's hard to find. And it's not like I think I'm better or whatever. It's nothing like that. But to find somebody that you can truly, especially I raised my kids, I've done all this, I'm independent that way. But to find somebody that, hey, I can, rest, and I know that you're going to have me. I need you to
Yeah.
be stronger than me. And a lot of times men get intimidated by that, and they don't understand that concept that you just said.
And I
So,
think that they get intimidated because I think no one's ever showed them how to be a foundation outside of money and sex. I got to be the best you ever had physically in the bed, and I got to make sure I got a lot of money. If I got those 2, I'm a good man.
right now.
Nah. Even in the Animal King, I was teaching on this with eagles. I don't know if we talked about that before, right?
Yeah.
How the female eagle picks her mate,
Yep.
right? She takes a branch, she flies up high, she drops it. The male eagles that want her, they all fly up and grab the stick and put it back in the nest. She grabs another stick that's about the size of herself and maybe two eaglets. She goes up twice as high and drops it. And the males start to fall off because some can't get up there. 1 or 2 grab it, put it back in the nest. Then she goes as high as she can and she drops the stick that weighs twice her weight and that of the eaglets.
Mm-hmm.
And the eagle that catches that, he gets the right to court and to be there.
Yeah.
And I think that principle is really important. And this is why it is so important for kings to have their own purpose. As a man, when your purpose is solid and you're standing on solid convictions, You're a decisive man. You're consistent with your own decisions, even if it's at your advantage. If I said it and I lose, I lose. But I said it and I follow through. Those things are indicators that will attract queens.
Yeah.
Right? If you got all the money, you flash it, you get a lot of girls and women gonna like you.
Mm-hmm.
But when women get to a certain level mentally, what you notice is that queens are attracted to intelligence, consistency.
Yeah.
And intelligence is a byproduct of being a king. And the more intelligent he is, he runs the girls off because they're intimidated. He runs the woman off because she feels inferior, and he attracts the queen because she sees an equal. And so it's important for that dude to have that, because I don't care how good a woman is, I set the temperature.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to attract the level of woman I want by the level of man that I become.
I like that. I like that.
I'm gonna attract it.
Yeah.
You know, before, I don't know how many times I would go out, or I know a lot of powerful guys. Can't drop names. We know a lot of them. Trust me, I know a lot of good dudes, big guys, and they go out. These dudes been single for like 4 or 5 years. I mean, these dudes they're made, and they'll come to progress. I don't get it. I go out to try to meet women. They won't talk to me. They'll say I'm bougie, or they'll say, you know, I'm probably not interested in them. It's like they come to us with these defeated mindsets when the whole time we was like, yo, you the one.
Right.
And for a king, it's kind of I don't know if I want to deal with that, because a woman that doesn't believe she's worthy of having a man to love her, she'll do low-level things to keep her heart safe, keeping the extra guys on the side, not shutting the other doors. When the king to turn this crown around, locked all the doors, said, woman, you my focus.
Yeah. I like that. Well, we got to take a break, our second break here. So we're going to come right back and get our next set of commercials and sponsors in. So we're talking to David Solomon. We'll be right back.
Have you subscribed yet to the free bi-monthly digital interactive Ego magazine? No? Well, head on over to www.egoentertainmentnet.com to subscribe now. This magazine is all about supporting and showcasing excellence in communities everywhere, from music, arts and culture, relationships, education, politics, celebrities, food, and so much more. While you're flipping through the pages, just click on the buttons and social icons and you'll be taken to a whole other world behind the articles and ads. At Ego Entertainment, everyone is a star. There is something in it for everyone. And we hope you are positively impacted by what you see and will continue to support Ego Magazine.
Track CBPD by Arulo.
The Gallery Event Center and Ego Entertainment Network has teamed up to bring you the #1 all-inclusive VIP Premier Event Package. Get ready to drop mouths open with this one. It includes 6-hour venue rental, unlimited tables and chairs, table and chair covers, chair sashes, table centerpieces, charger plates, projector and screen, 65-inch TV, wireless microphone, surround sound, complimentary drinks, soda, water, beer, or wine. Also, travel to and from event for Ego Entertainment Network, setup and breakdown of equipment, 4 hours of services including recorded media coverage and interviews, audio and video, editing of all data captured with music background, customized graphics B-roll footage of your event, red carpet or step and repeat setup, coordination, and interviews on your carpet or step and repeat. You do not want to miss out on this amazing opportunity, and the package is all inclusive for just $3,000. Book now at thegalleryeventcenter.com. That's thegalleryeventcenter.com. You can also contact the Gallery Event Center at 317-534-6399. The VIP Premier Event Package. If you're tired of hearing the same music and content every 5, 10, or 15 minutes on air, then check out JQLM Radio for the realest, rawest, and most relevant variety of music, talk shows, and more. Start your days with a little bit of gospel and gospel rap from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All of my life, I've never known you to fail. You deliver me. 'Cause all I seem to do is coming and breaking it down with that wiggity style, man. We really living it out, don't miss it.
Then get into some hot R&B. Some hip hop.
Falling in deep with the quicksand. Flag on my hand, no quick brand. I was packing on the pound, got my.
Look, once upon a time, and I heard that.
A little bit of pop.
Watermelon sugar, strawberries.
And some neo soul for the rest of the day. JQLM Radio, real, raw, and relevant.
Holds my hand.
All right, we are back, and I want to take a moment to let you guys know that I have released my workbook. It is called Whose Eyes Do You See Yourself Through? How to Make Sense of Your Life and See More Clearly. So I'm so proud. I know David is beaming. He's been on me to finish this. So I finished it, boo. I finished it, okay? He would contact me all the time. Baby girl, did you finish writing? What you doing? You got to go in the cave. You got to go in the cave, finish your book. So I finished it, and and I have it to where you can write in it and everything like that. And so yeah, I got to give you a copy. So
That's what's up. Yes.
finally
Okay.
finished it. I finally finished it. And
Congratulations.
you can contact me. It'll be up on Amazon shortly, but copies right now, the introductory price is only $15 because I have the first a certain amount, and then after this, it's going to go up to the regular price of $25. So you can cash at me at totalbreakthroughcenter.com, and it's TOTALBREAK, and through is spelled THRU. Center, CENTER, $15. And if I'm shipping it to you, add another $7, okay? Because it costs to ship something. You can PayPal me or you can Zelle me, and you would just use my business phone, which is 470-557-0515. So get your copy. It's all not all, it's a lot of the techniques I use in group and classes to help you get through stuff and figure out who do you see yourself through? Whose eyes do you see yourself through? And are they even yours? So, all right. So Dave, we got a great conversation going, and I know we're going to wrap up soon here, and I don't want to miss, how do people get in touch with you? How do they reach you?
You can find me on Instagram at progressjunkie.com or YouTube, the PJ Nation, either or Twitter, Progress Junkie 1. You can catch me over there. Or you can just Google me, Progress Junkie. I'm the only one in the world. So I come up all over. You see me everywhere with that one.
Yeah, and you travel all over the place, like you're forever in a hotel like you are now, because you always travel. You're always traveling and stuff, speaking and doing different engagements and whatnot. So so Progress Junkies, real fast, how did that come about? Where did you come up with that name? I mean, I know the story, but tell everybody.
Progress Junkies. After my divorce, I was married for 13 years. We're still great friends.
Mm-hmm.
After my divorce, I was homeless, sleeping in the basement, didn't have nothing. My motor and my truck blew up. I mean, it was bad, right? Bad. It was a tough 2 years. It was tough. And I started to realize that I was losing myself. I didn't know who I was anymore. And so I woke up one morning, about 2-3 in the morning, and the one thing I could change was my body. I couldn't change the money. I couldn't change the job. I said, one thing I can do, I can change my body. And that's literally what I did. I rolled out of the bed next to this pit bull. I was sleeping next to a real dog. I would do push-ups in the morning, jumping jacks. Then I started running in the snow, coming back. And about maybe a month into it, I realized that something was changing in me. My identity was coming back. I realized that who I was before I got married was still in there. That man was still in there. He just lost himself. He totally lost his identity. So I realized that through progress, small steps over time, being addicted to making that small step every day, it'll make you a junkie. You get addicted to doing it because you turn into somebody you never thought you could be because you did it in increments over time.
Yeah.
So that's why I came with Progress Junkies, addicted to progress.
And I love that too. And I've been watching your transformation, and just in a little bit of time that I've known you for a minute now. And your technique has changed. Your body is getting better and better and better and better. And you're consistently learning, and you teach other people. And I love that about you, because you don't ever come with the, hey, I know everything and whatnot. You truly are, addicted to progress. If that's a good thing, you're always bettering yourself, which you know is a wonderful thing. All right, so before we wrap up, because we I know we could definitely have a part 2 and a part 3. It's always that way when I get with you. Let's talk to the man that is struggling right now. Maybe he wants to be a king. Hey, Joey! Joey is here.
Hey,
Joey,
buddy.
and I
There you
know
go.
you.
He on deck.
Yes, Joey Parham. Thank you so much. You
My man. What's
introduced
up,
me
Joey?
to this gift. And yeah, I remember the first time I met you and you were here, I was like, you are a gift to me. And I treasure you. And I do. But yeah, Joey is the one that introduced me to you. So so I'm glad that he's watching. But to that man that's struggling right now, maybe he wants to be a king. He's never been taught how to have a foundation, or he's struggling for whatever reason, or he's hurting. What would you say to him? How to begin to pick up the pieces and how to get help? What would be the first thing that he would need to do?
The first thing I would tell a man is in a dark spot right now is he has to understand. And I don't want to, I'm not going to sound vulgar, but if I was talking to a king that was down, I would tell him that flowers can only grow out of shit, brother.
Yeah.
Anything great has always spent years in the basement. And if you find yourself as a man, I mean, child support behind, got a warrant, you can't make your woman happy, baby mama drama, you depressed, you don't like how you look in the mirror, people think you're a good person when you're not, you're working on your character, you're a liar behind closed doors, but you want to be an honest man, but you're ashamed of coming out and saying, I've been lying about the money I make, I've been lying. The whole gambit is I want you to look at yourself, brother, for where you really are and embrace your ugly. Because if you embrace your ugly, you earn the right to set other men free who are chained by that same ugly. You want to be a king, you got to get some keys.
Yeah.
And the way you get your keys, you got to embrace your ugly, walk with your chin up. Yeah, I messed that up. Ruin that. I was a hot mess. You got to embrace your ugly and the consequences that come with it. And when you do it, you'll feel yourself going this way. But over time, when you start to elevate, it's a solid elevation. It ain't plastic. It's solid. So when you look at that other king sitting across from me, hey, man, I don't know what to do. I know what to do. Embrace your ugly. Look at your friends and your surroundings. Look at the people and relationships you got. And reevaluate all of your choices that got you there. If you embrace the ugly, look at the surroundings and check the decisions, you'll realize that you're only as stuck as your decision making is.
Yeah.
That's it. You're only not a king now because of choices you made to get you there.
Yeah.
If you change the choices, you'll lose people.
Yep.
You'll lose a lot of people. People will criticize you, but you got to be willing to embrace your ugly, own it. So you can attract your destiny tribe, those people that will be connected to you for the rest of your life because they're out there.
Yeah.
They're waiting for the real you to stand up.
And I love that because you're exactly right. And as a woman, I can respect a man that tells me, hey, I ruined this, or this is where I was, but this is where I am. And here's my plan for where I'm going. All right, I can get behind you. I can support that brother up and down, left to right, side by side. And, you know, I can get with it because number one, he's being honest. He is accountable. He's not blaming anybody. He's not lying about it. He's just own it. You know, like I've had to own. And the hardest thing to do, whether you're male or female, is to face yourself in the mirror and to own it. You know, I had to own up to decisions I made and realize that nobody put me here but me. And
that's a tough one.
Yeah. And the thing is you want to say, well, nobody taught me. Okay. But at some point, you had to realize that what you're doing is not working, you know? So I can appreciate that. So thank you for that. Wow. Okay. We're going to be wrapping up here in a second here. We're getting these little notes from Lady J in the chat. So to keep us on track. What do you have coming up?
I got the King's Code. It's a man's journal. It's about 21 days out. And it's a very, very intense, man, where I take my military training
Mhm.
my life experience of being homeless, I consolidate that to an action plan for men
Nice.
that's in an ugly place.
Nice.
So we got the books being, well, the journals being worked on. We got a website we got going up so that men can log in and converse with other men going through the journal, the process to come out of that to that.
Wonderful.
Because, the world rallies around a broken woman, but they shun a broken man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That thing, when you start building it, you build the kings up, the whole game will change.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with you. I believe in roles, and and a lot of women don't like to admit this, but it is. I mean, you are the head. You are the king for a reason. And if the head is correct, everything else falls into
It all
place.
falls into place.
So,
It all falls
if
into place.
you're broken or you're hurt or you're shattered, you can't lead effectively because you've got to first be solid yourself. And
Yeah.
it starts from the head. It really
Yeah.
does. So, as women, we need to uphold our men and as sons, and we need to allow them to have those emotions and allow them to hurt, allow them to bleed and not emasculate them and stuff like that, and realize that that's part of growing. And you want somebody that has emotion. You don't want somebody that doesn't have any emotion. But because then you just got a robot. But
Yeah. You
I
need to be able to have the emotion as a dude. If you're gonna be a man, if you're gonna be king, you gotta know how to master your emotions. You have to have them.
Yeah.
How am I gonna coach my woman to deal with her over emotionalism if
Right.
I don't have any emotions? I got to be able to be over emotional when it's time and say, all right, baby, we just bring that back in a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's a balance.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you, Dave, so much for being my guest tonight. I love
Thanks for having me.
speaking to you. You are right here for me, and you know that. And I appreciate you taking the time and being here and sharing this, because I know especially your schedule is very, very busy right now. And guys, I'm telling you, man, this is a man that you can look up to. This is a man that you can trust. This is a man that will keep your honor, and he's not going to go out there and tell anything. So if you are a broken man, seek this guy out. I'm telling you, because he will hold your honor in place and teach you how to be the king that you were destined to be. So with that, next week, all right, since May is Mental Health Awareness Month, I got a little spin coming. Next week, we have Audrey, and she is a sexologist. Yes, ma'am. And it's all things about sex and things that block it, the free, and just everything like that. So it's not how do you have the best sex? We're going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about sex is very important in your life, and it is part of your mental health, and it is part of expression. It is part. So we're going to have a whole another vein on that for men and women. So next week, make sure you tune in, because Audrey is going to be our topic. And if you want to be on the show, go ahead and email me at mepoweredwithrhonda@gmail.com, and we'll get you on the show as well. And make sure that you share this, especially tonight, because this is a message that needs to be heard, especially for our men out there. All right, so you guys share this. Thank you so much, David. You guys have a
No problem.
great night. All right.
All right.
All right.